So, good evening, welcome back. We're going to continue graphing some lines in a slope-intercept form. Remember, slope-intercept form has got this y equals mx plus b look. Remember the m, the coefficient of x stood for our slope, and that b was our y-intercept. So the m is going to be our slope, and that b is going to refer to our y-intercept. So if we look at this equation, I have y equals -6. Our first move again is to identify the slope and the y-intercept. Well, notice that there's no x in this problem. Since there's no x in the problem, that means that coefficient should have been a 0, or is a 0, I should say. So I could look at this as y equals 0x minus 6. Because again, if I simplify that, the 0x just disappears, and I have y equals -6. So again, the slope of this would be 0, and the y-intercept would be a -6. So once I've identified the slope and the y-intercept, I want to plot the y-intercept. Well, the y-intercept crosses the y-axis at -6, so that's down here. Next, I want to use the slope to plot two more points. Well, since the slope is 0, what that tells me is there's no rise, there's only run. So my line has to be going in a horizontal direction. So I can make a point going in a horizontal direction, and I can just make a couple points going off that way. So I put a point down here by 2, so 2, -6, and 4, -6. Remember, the bottom line is those y values are locked in. The x values are what could change. So I've got my points. Now I want to go ahead and graph the line that passes through those 3 points. Let's see if I can get that to go for me. So kind of sketch that out there. So I have my line that should be horizontal. So if you look at this next equation, I have I've got x equals 4. Notice that x equals 4 is not in slope-intercept form because it's not solved for y. So this is kind of a trick question because it's not in slope-intercept form. But we remember, though, that if it has x equals 4, since it doesn't have a slope-intercept form, what that means is it has no slope, nor does it have a y-intercept. So there is no slope. It does not have a y-intercept. So what I pick up on is x has to be 4. For x to be 4, that means I have to move 4 along the x-axis. So that's where x equals 4. But notice that since there's not a slope or a y-intercept, that means it's going parallel to the y-axis. So it's going in what we call a vertical direction. So I can make a couple of points going in a vertical direction. And that would allow me to create my graph. So I pick up on that x is 4, but y can do whatever it wants to do at this point. Only the x variable is locked in. So I can kind of sketch my graph there. And I have what we refer to as a vertical line. So that would be an example that will kind of throw us a little bit because, again, it says slope-intercept form, but remember, if it has x only, it has no slope, nor does it have a y-intercept. It's actually a vertical line that is parallel to the y-axis. So hopefully I didn't miss you up too much there. So that completes those. I think we're going to do a couple more that are not in slope-intercept form. So stay tuned for those.